Hello and good afternoon. I'm James Preston reporting live from Kalkine Studio. It's lunchtime here in Sydney and it's time for the Mid-Market Pulse. In today's show, we'll take a look at the biggest winners and losers of the day. We'll also take a look at headline-making stocks such as Collins Food and Sezzle. But let's begin with an overview of today's overall Australian share market performance by the mid-trade session. Australian shares continued to trade higher by the afternoon, with most sectors higher, led by technology and telecom stocks. The market sentiment was lifted by firm cues from Wall Street, which ended higher overnight amid hopes that the congressional Democrats and Republicans can reach a deal to avoid a debt default. The benchmark index, the ASX 200, traded higher by 0.71% up to lunch. The index opened much higher today, tracking firm cues from US stocks and gained as much as 0.72%. In the overnight trade, US stocks settled higher on the hopes of a debt ceiling limit extension. The stocks fell in opening deals after robust private jobs data raised concerns that the Federal Reserve could roll back economic stimulus soon. The Dow Jones Industrial Average settled with a 0.3% gain, while the S&P 500 also rose by 0.3%. The Nasdaq Composite added 0.5%. Back home on the sectoral front, 9 of 11 sectoral indices were trading in positive terrain. The tech sector was the best performer with a 2.1% gain, following firm cues from its US counterpart, the Nasdaq. The tech sector was followed by telecom, which also rose by 0.9. Among others, AREITs, healthcare, consumer discretionary and financials also saw a surge in buying. Bucking the trend, the energy sector was the biggest loser with a 1.3% loss, followed by materials, which traded marginally lower. On the COVID-19 front, New South Wales had 587 new cases in the past 24 hours. Victoria's daily case tally also continued to outnumber New South Wales by rising to 1,638 on Thursday. Let's now turn our attention to the top gainers and losers by mid-session trade. The top gainer on the ASX pack was Aussie retailer Super Retail Group, which rose by 7.2% by the afternoon trade. Some of the other notable gainers were KFC operator Collins Foods, financial services firm Hub24, drug maker Clinuvel Pharmaceuticals, and healthcare equipment business Polynovo. On the losing side, Australian coal miner Whitehaven Coal topped the losers chart with a 6.4% loss. Travel business Sealink Travel Group, gaming and entertainment group Star Entertainment, energy major Santos and gold miner Chalice Mining were also among the big losers. Time now for a very short break on Kalkine TV, and on the other side of these messages, we take a look at stocks that have been making headlines on the Mid-Market Pulse.
Hi, I'm Sage, and get ready to take the crypto ride with me on Kalkine TV. Watch the crypto buzz every Tuesday and join the excitement at Kalkine TV. From Bitcoins to NFTs to Dogecoin and DeFi, we have updates about everything around these digital currencies. Understand the investing rationale and the risks involved in the space with me, Sage, on Crypto Buzz. Keep watching Kalkine TV.
Welcome back to Kalkine TV. Great to have your company for the Mid-Market Pulse. I'm James Preston. Let's now take a look at shares that are in the headlines today, beginning with Collins Foods. Shares of Collins Foods rose over 5% after signing an agreement to become the corporate franchisee for the KFC chain in the Netherlands. The company said in an exchange filing that it has inked a pact with KFC Europe, a wholly owned subsidiary of Yum. And that's for the appointment of Collins Foods as KFC's corporate franchisee in the Netherlands. Collins Foods will develop, manage, market and support and operate the KFC business in the Netherlands, including the introduction, management and oversight of existing and future franchises. The agreement sets out a framework for the development of up to 130 new KFC restaurants in the Netherlands over the next 10 years. Shares of Super Retail Group climbed over 7% following a ratings upgrade. The share price rose after global brokerage firm UBS upgraded the stock to a buy, citing that the retailer is likely to benefit from a strong rebound after lockdowns come to an end. Let's now turn our attention to Australian conglomerate Wesfarmers. Their shares traded marginally higher after the acquisition of Washington H. Soul Pattinson's 19.3% stake in Australian pharmaceutical industries. Also, API shares rose over 2% following the announcement. Wesfarmers has purchased 95.1 million shares from Soul Pattinson under the terms of the undertaking agreement signed in July this year. The company, in a statement, said it remained committed to pursuing its proposal to acquire 100% of the API stake for cash consideration of $1.55 per share, subject to certain conditions. Wesfarmers is progressing with its confirmatory due diligence investigations in support of its proposal. Moving on now to buy now, pay later firm Afterpay. OpenPay. Shares of OpenPay jumped nearly 10% after it secured a $372 million receivables warehouse facility from Goldman Sachs and Italia Asset Management. The funding triples the company's existing credit facilities and includes just over 1 million warrants for fully paid ordinary shares in the company to be given to Goldman Sachs. The receivables warehouse facility will help the small cap fintech company to fuel its expansion into the US market. OpenPay looks to facilitate transactions for merchants and consumers in the US and lays the groundwork to support growth in the region. Another buy now, pay later player, Sezzle, has gained nearly 6% on its partnership with US retailer Target. The gains followed the launch overnight of a partnership with US retailer Target that was initially mooted to occur in June. And lastly, shares in Cube Holding traded lower following reports of an investigation by the competition watchdog, Australian Competition and Consumer, or the ACCC. The agency has launched a probe into the company's acquisition of the Newcastle Agri Terminal. The deal was executed before the ACCC had a chance to review potential competition concerns. That's according to the government body in a release today. Well, that's a wrap for the Mid-Market Pulse. Stay tuned to Kalkine TV for the latest breaking news, market updates and more. I'm James Preston, reporting for Kalkine.